and good evening from St. Louis Park. I'm Bruce Homer along with Tom Whitlock, and we are back for Oriole basketball again this year. And tonight, the St. Louis Park Orioles face the Hopkins Royals. And Tom, not very often that you look at Hopkins' record and you see them below 500.
No, that is a surprise. But you look at their schedule and you see they played the number 5 and number 6 teams in the state. So if there's such a thing as a quality loss, those are quality losses.
They are, and we know St. Louis Park's going to have their work cut out for them in this game. Although they are getting one break, the leading scorer of Hopkins, Kerwin Walton, is not suited up. They will not play in this game. So that's a player who averages 25 points per game and is highly recruited by many colleges in his senior season. And I know the Gophers are one of those teams looking to try and bring him on board. For the Orioles, the starting lineup will be Cole Ewald, Eric Peel, Aaron Ellingson, Paris Johnson, and Stanley Jackson. For Hopkins, we see the lineup here is Jalen Tremmel, Cornell Richardson, Sawyer Schrake, Andre Gray II, and Elvis Najee, brother of Zeke Najee. So the leading top scorer for the Royals in this lineup is Cornell Richardson, averaging 13.5 points per game. For the St. Louis Park Orioles, Cole Ewald's had a great start to the season, averaging 15 points per game. Eric Peel averaging 12, and Paris Johnson 13. You can see the size advantage in this game will go to Hopkins.
Well, I think it'll be important for St. Louis Park to, now that they won't be focusing on Kerwin, to kind of have a balanced approach to defense and just be consistent with their offensive sets. Kind of a nice way to start the game off for St. Louis Park to get everyone touching the ball.
I think number 25 is actually Najee instead of 34, so I think the
yes.
roster number is wrong here. Just trying to figure that out. So drive to the basket, doesn't go. Good rebound by the Orioles, and then they lose it.
But that was a nice patient set on offense, and it was a good drive by Eric.
Getting inside, Najee for the finish. Orioles get it into the front court quickly. Driving the baseline, now stolen away. That's Tremmel into the front court. 5-0 Royals lead right off the bat here. Outside shot is good by Gray. Second three of the game for Gray, and this is how the girls' game started off. 10-0 for the Hopkins Royals in the girls' game that preceded this game. Sometimes, Tom, it's just that first basket, then you can loosen up a little bit.
I think they probably have a lot of adrenaline when they play a top 10 team like Hopkins, and good just to kind of settle into the game.
Ewald down the lane. Paris Johnson back to Ewald. Now Johnson with the finish.
Nice job to body control to not get the charging call there.
They're going to need a good game from Paris, but you can see Gray is hot. He has got 3 threes, 9 points out of 11.
Yeah, it's going to force the defense to extend out a little bit farther.
Ewald splits the defense, gets it to the corner. Peel with the shot. A little too hard off the rim. Rebound by the Royals. They get into the front court quickly.
That's a good open shot by Peel. Good kick out by Ewald.
No one else but Andre Gray. I don't know, I look at his average. He averages 5.3 points per game, but that's going up.
He's ahead of his pace.
Cole Ewald brings it back out. Forced inside that time. I would have liked to have seen the Orioles take the shot. Here's Paris Johnson from the free throw line up, and he's going to get a good roll.
That's the home court roll right there.
Still for the Orioles. Peel on the baseline. Across for Stanley Jackson. He is fouled.
Nice recognition by Ewald, and then finding the open cutter.
Foul on Gray is his first team foul. Stanley Jackson to the free throw line. You know, one of the areas that the Orioles really are missing is that big player inside, which they had last year in Anthony Rayson, so that's a big loss.
Yeah, Anthony was a good presence down low.
Three off the mark, good box out.
Very nice box out.
Almost a travel. Turnover by the Orioles. Good passing. Shrake.
Nice recovery, good defensive position by Hopkins there. But St. Louis Park's moving them, you know, they're cutting to the basket well, I think, and they're getting some good shots.
Gray, pass inside. Najee on Jackson, nice.
Well, good footwork down low there by Najee.
I think he's practiced that on his brother. And another turnover by the Orioles.
I think that it'll be interesting as this game wears on. Hopkins has a very deep bench, and they're going to have a lot of fresh legs, where St. Louis Park has a little shorter bench. So it'll be interesting how they deal with that.
Traveling. Almost over and back.
You can see a lot of those cross-court passes are.
Ewald gets it back inside.
He jumped all the way over Ellingson.
Cannot believe he didn't get a foul. He didn't even touch him. Ball was batted out. Royals have it. Number 24 is lead.
That's when you'd like to see, which is probably a tough thing as a player, but to draw that foul when the player's out of position like that.
Good defense by the Orioles. That was Ellingson.
Great pass.
And Jackson with the dunk.
Great pass by Ewald to set that up.
Well, they ignite the fans a little bit. Let's see if
Yeah.
that ignites the team.
Good defense.
Orioles come away with the basketball and the turnover.
Stanley, a nice job of getting his hand in the passing lane there.
Nice pass. A little too much on the shot by Peel.
Yeah, I think the defense kind of was on his back there where it affected his shot.
Good job by Paris Johnson on the front end. And now back to Paris and a good finish. Nice give and go.
it feels like St. Louis Park is starting to settle in and get a little more confidence. Good box out by Ellingson there.
Turnover by the Orioles. Salam Mayer has some pretty good size, number 3.
Yeah.
Three in and out. Rebound by Ewald.
I think St. Louis Park will be happy to give Hopkins those. Good board by
Jackson in and out.
Yeah.
That 3 is good. That's Cornell Richardson. So Richardson, who averages 13.5 points per game, gets his first points. Orioles trail by 10. Ewald needs someone to help him out.
Yeah, I think Coach Breitenbucher saw that Ewald was trapped there and called a quick timeout.
You got to keep dribbling. You can't stop right in that spot without getting rid of the ball. And there's a nice finish by Jackson for the Orioles. So far this season for the St. Louis Park Orioles, they lost the first game against Burnsville 65-58. Then that tough Park Center team with Dane Danger 82-53. Game where Paris Johnson went cold, and I think 2 for 19 in that game. So, but he's back tonight. He's already got 6 points in tonight's game. Henry Sibley was a game that St. Louis Park thought they had. They had a nice lead early on and ended up being a close game and losing that one 66-65 on a very tight one for the St. Louis Park Orioles.
Well, and Paris is such an important player for St. Louis Park to get off to a good start, so it's nice to see him come out with a quick 6 points. And you know, this is a challenging schedule playing Park Center and Hopkins and some of those Lake Conference teams up front. So it'll serve them well further down the road when they get into conference.
Paris Johnson had that shot blocked by number 3 Maher. See how quick the Royals get off the shot, and Orioles trying to get the rebound, and Hopkins just really scrappy in there, and they get that, come up with the ball. Right now the Royals working around the perimeter. Setting up the 3, and the rebound by Johnson. Bad pass by the Orioles. They turn it over and give the Royals another chance here. And when you do that, that's what happens.
That's happened a couple times tonight already. And just Hopkins in transition is St. Louis Park is collapsing to the hoop and leaving open shooters out on the perimeter. So I think that'll be something that Coach Breitenbucher, I'm sure, will be talking to them in timeouts.
Ensminger picking up the foul, his first. Only 3 fouls here in the first half. Najee comes back into the game now for the Royals.
I think the other thing, just the adrenaline. St. Louis Park is getting some new fresh players into the game and having them kind of catch up to this speed. You can see a lot of their kind of half-court passes are getting picked off.
Yeah, Deontay's Ross into the game now for the Royals. That pass was stolen. And the finish by Ensminger.
I think it's important that they're starting to put some pressure on the St. Louis Park guards, and it's important for some of St. Louis Park's forwards and big men to come up and help those guards out as they bring the ball up and give them an option to pass over the pressure.
Foul was on Lee. Three-team fouls for Hopkins as they have a 25-10 lead. 8:12 left here in the first half. And we get a foul on Tremmel.
Foul on Tremmel. His first, team fourth.
So Ellingson home in the game, and there's
That's
a
a very
pass to
nice
Ross.
cut by Ross to get, and a good find, good pass to see him cut into the hoop.
And we get a foul on Najee over the top.
Yeah, Najee, you could see he had his hands kind of on his hips and kind of pushed him under the basket to get that rebound.
That's his first, team fifth.
So Ewald back into the game now for St. Louis Park. And Ewald's going to call for a charge.
Yeah.
Didn't have his head up that time. He's looking down.
Yeah, I think St. Louis Park has had some really nice possessions where they've been patient on offense and they moved the ball and they found cutters going to the hoop. It's kind of like Princeton versus Georgetown, if you watch basketball in the 80s. But
What a great move by Najee.
it's when St. Louis Park kind of gets out of the flow of their offense and you got players who are either dribbling too long or like Ewald, just kind of dribbling into traffic there.
Well, I know his sister's a sophomore too, so I wonder if they're twins.
Yeah, probably. It's quite a basketball family.
Right. A lot of height in that family.
Yeah.
Ewald again losing the basketball. You see the height, I think the Orioles, well, they're going to call it jump ball.
Yeah, that was a great block by Paris, and you could see they kind of trapped it with the other player. You know, and I think Ewald was doing a really nice job bringing the ball up the court, and he got by two defenders, which means that there's somebody open on the perimeter. And when you have that defense collapsing on you, that's when you got to find that open guy.
And that's what we're seeing right now is that the Orioles are just going for the basket instead of dishing off where they'll have a player sitting in the corner, and that's where they need to pass it out.
Yeah, Peel had a wide open three that didn't go down, but it was a good, well-balanced shot.
Shot missed by Johnson, but the rebound Ellingson. Ewald back out. Now they work it around. Good passing by the Orioles. Deontay's.
There, that's a great. Ross had a nice dribble drive to penetrate into the defense, and then he found the guy on the perimeter.
Also, time of possession helps keep the ball away from a good offense.
Right, exactly.
There's that three.
Nice
one of the rare
box out
misses
by
Gray.
Ewald.
Nice pass by Ewald. Oh, there's a big block. Long pass for Gray. Orioles with the steal. Sometimes you try and get too fancy.
Yeah. That was a great block that looked like it was an open layup. And St. Louis Park is getting some success with that kind of first penetration drive.
Peel will come in. Ewald will go to the bench. Jackson continues to be on the bench here. Ross. See how Hopkins gets their hands on that passing lane.
Yeah. But I like the patience by Park, just to wait for that opening or that cut or.
There they go.
And that's it. That's kind of the defense that you're talking about. A nice, probably 30-second possession, and they got a good shot. Now it looks like St. Louis Park is in the bonus the rest of the half here.
Missed by Ross. Deontay's with 2 points in the game so far.
I think Ewald's going to be coming back in for Ross here. Ross looked like he needed a blow.
Also, Stanley Jackson will check back in for St. Louis Park.
Hopkins jumped out to that 10-point lead, and Park has kind of maintained that, has played even with them since.
Yeah, Gray hitting those 3 threes right off the bat and giving him 9 points. Now the Royals are going to bring it out a little bit and set up. Gray.
I think Hopkins is trying to get St. Louis Park to come out and spread their defense a little bit more.
We saw the girls take a minute and a half off the clock at the end of the first half because the Orioles didn't come out. We've seen the Hopkins boys do that in tournament play too.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Kenny Novak not happy with that.
No, I think he sort of pivoted directions right in the middle of his dribble, and he had to carry it to get it going the direction he wanted.
That was not a good pass by Dvorak. Gives Hopkins a fast break opportunity, and we're going to have a jump ball. This will be Hopkins basketball.
And yeah, Najee was kind of sitting in the middle of the defense there, just waiting for that backdoor cut to the hoop.
Royals playing tough defense so far.
Yeah.
In and out for the Royals. Jackson with the rebound.
Yeah, nice rebound by Jackson.
Ewald gets it into the front court. And Johnson finishes.
He's got such a smooth shot.
Orioles got it to single digits right now at a 9-point game.
I think it's important in this last 2.5 minutes here to keep it at 1 digit.
Nice steal.
Great.
Yep, you read that one, but just got in too far, and a little wisely if you could have passed that one out. Nice play.
That was a nice drive and a dish.
Ewald looking for his first 2 points of the game. As that blocked by Najee. Najee trying to hit that one from the free throw line. Can't get it to go. Jackson turns at the last
Look
second.
what I found.
Right. Nice drive inside. Peel.
Oh, nice. Just great body control by Peel to shield the defender from his left-handed layup there.
Minute and a half to go. 29-20. Orioles got it to 9.
See, they're collapsing on Najee, double teaming him in the post.
Also still in the backcourt. Ewald. Oh, that's not a good pass. Najee with the finish.
And I think you can see Park is a little tired here at the end of the half. So we'll see if they can hold the ball for a last shot.
Jackson, Ewald.
Those cross-court passes are
15
a little
seconds.
dangerous. All right, let's see if they get into an offensive flow here.
Someone's got to be open. He's double teamed. Peel loses the basketball. 2 seconds. And a finish in time. Not the way you want to end that.
No.
For St. Louis Park.
Yeah, you could see once St. Louis Park tried to get into their offensive flow there, Hopkins immediately put pressure on. And I think that that just got them out of what they wanted to do there in the last 10 seconds.
Right, and they're really trying to get the ball towards more towards Paris Johnson and let him do something. But Hopkins has done a really good job denying the basketball. And again, it's a lot of pressure that Hopkins puts on defensively. But Orioles have to be fortunate. You know, right now it's 33-20, and the Orioles really with only 3 fouls in the first half. So that's one thing that the coach worried about because they don't have a lot of depth. And so if you get in foul trouble, this game could have really gotten out of whack. And right now, St. Louis Park will have their starters with, playing with very few fouls and ability to play quite a bit into the second half. So.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of good things that St. Louis Park was doing, and I think there's probably some things that coach is talking to them about at halftime. But they had a lot of good drives where they got their shot blocked right at the hoop, and if they find those open guys in the perimeter, I think they can make this interesting.
Right. All right, so we are at halftime, and we are going to take a break. Our score here right now, 33-20, Hopkins leads. We'll be back with more basketball shortly.
We are there, day one, with baby names and a gift that lasts a lifetime. We are there as you grow, protecting you and those you love. And we are there as you start your next chapter. We are with you through life's journey. We are Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. Get to know us at socialsecurity.gov.
Bruce Over along with Tom Whitlock. We are back for the second half. 33-20 our score, and sort of tough end of the half for the St. Louis Park Orioles as they had cut it to 9 and had a chance to get that last shot, and all of a sudden now we're at a 13-point game. So crucial how St. Louis Park starts here in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, cleaning up a couple of those things, just getting the ball set into the offense. It seems like they were stopping it kind of mid-court due to the pressure. So we'll see if they've made adjustments.
Ferris Johnson from outside. Shot
nice job by
bounds.
Stanley.
Yep, he kept it alive, and Hopkins last team to touch it there. So Ewald looking to get this pass in. Ellingson had it blocked. Again, Hopkins doing a really good job inside, not giving the Orioles that inside layup.
Yeah. Nice job by Ellingson to get that block shot back. He's so strong, just ripping it away from the Hopkins players there.
Those are long passes, very dangerous.
Yeah, those give Coach Brian Bucher a little heartburn, I think.
Yeah, that time Ferris got caught along the baseline, tried to pass it across before he fell out of bounds, turned it over, and now the Royals with the basketball. Here's a guy who was hot in the first half but misses everything on that one, and that's Andre Gray. Andre Gray had 13 points in the first half, 3 of those on 3-pointers. And now Gray's gonna get another shot, this one blocked. But unfortunately, the Orioles were fighting for that one, came back out. Hopkins with another try, and the Orioles fortunate that Hopkins comes away empty.
It's been fun watching the little kind of battle underneath between Najee and Stanley. There's been a little bit of pushing back and forth, and it'll be interesting to see how it develops here in the second half.
Outside shot by Peel, and Najee gets the rebound, quickly sends it out to Tremmel.
It's a nice, well-balanced shot by Peel. It just didn't go down, but
blocking foul called as Richardson makes the basket. He'll get a chance for a 3-point play here. Foul called on Ellingson. Only the 4th foul of the game for the Orioles, first here in the second half. Missed free throw. But that was a tough shot by Paris to even get that one off. But
yeah, just nice defense by Park.
Yeah, Ewald fouling Najee.
Is that 3 on Ewald, or is that just his second?
Maybe his first or second. Yeah.
It's going to be important for Park to kind of break the seal again and get into an offensive flow.
Missed free throw by Najee, but the rebound by Gray, and he puts it back.
Yeah, that was a nice rebound by Gray. He kind of nudged Jackson under the hoop.
Whoa, that was almost turned over.
Oh.
Boy, that all ball.
What a great block. It was a great pass by Peel to find Stanley. and that's his reward.
That's right. I think that surprised Stanley. Another turnover. Actually, a good foul that time.
Yeah. They have a few to give here, so.
Ellingson picking up, this is his 4th foul.
Ellingson's an important part of this team. You know, he provides kind of that quiet leadership that teams need. Is, you know, a really steady player that's always competing for rebounds and kind of doing the little things that the team needs.
Orioles haven't scored here in the second half. It's got now a 20-point game. Johnson for 3.
That helps. Now they'll just have to keep kind of inching their way back into this. Nice defense by Stanley to kind of pin the baseline off. It was a tough kind of off-balance shot. You can see he's a little frustrated.
Fouls on Ewald. His 3rd.
Ewald picking up his 3rd foul. That was a frustration foul. This is
you'd like to, the defense is kind of collapsing on Ewald, and I don't know if the St. Louis Park players are not kind of the guys who don't have the ball are not adjusting to the open points on the floor to give Ewald some kind of release valve. A little offensive foul there.
Fouls on Schrake. His 2nd.
Schrake's 2nd foul. First team foul for Hopkins, almost identical to the girls' game that preceded this one, where St. Louis Park only picked up 3 or 4 fouls in the first half. And then the second half, right off the bat, they started fouling, and there's a 3, a little short, but a good rebound by Ross.
Nice pass by Ross.
And that's the second 3 of the game for Dvorak.
And Ross has given St. Louis Park some nice minutes.
There's just no defense. You don't have the height to really guard someone like Najee on this team.
No.
Fouls on Ross. Najee will shoot 2.
You can see that was almost a frustration foul that he just pushed him under the basket.
14-point game as Najee sinks the first free throw.
But you can see Ross on that previous drive to the hoop, that he's actually passing it before the defense collapsed on him. Because I think St. Louis Park has done it a number of times where they've penetrated, but they penetrate all the way into the defense where they can't get that extra pass out.
So maybe an adjustment that they made at halftime.
Yeah.
Getting out by Johnson.
Hopkins has brought some more height in here.
They got number 44 in the game. That's Jack Hernandez.
Nice defense by Dvorak to cut that drive off.
And Dvorak lines a shot up from 3, misses, and rebound by the Royals. Only 1 shot attempt for the Orioles. As you can see, Hopkins just clearing the boards defensively. Oh, Richardson scoop.
That was a nice scoop by Richardson.
But you see how Stanley had to use his body to shield just to be able to get that left-handed shot off, but not the highest percentage. This ball comes back into the good save by Hernandez, not letting it get in the backcourt. Richardson with the basketball, now he's going to give it to Tremmel.
And you can see St. Louis Park is a little winded, and they're not getting to those loose balls.
Nice move by Johnson.
Nice job to clear space for himself to get that shot off against a much taller opponent.
You see just the difference in moves between him and Stanley, just a little bit inside.
Mm-hmm.
Ewald back into the Orioles. Reagan Merritt in the game for the Royals.
Rebound and get a jump ball.
Nice job by Dvorak to force that jump ball.
This is one of those situations where it's a good thing you're not jumping the ball up Dvorak's size, but
you can see he's got that hand on the ball there.
Hopkins gets the ball on the alternate possession rule, and good job inside by the Orioles to come away with the ball.
That was a great job by Ewald there to defend without getting the foul there.
Deontay's Ross drawing the foul. Wellington into the
Stanley
game.
and Paris sitting down. This is an interesting lineup for St. Louis Park to see where the points are going to be coming from here.
Looks like Ethan Schmitz, the junior JV player, are coming in.
It'd be nice to see them get Ewald loose or set Ewald up for a, because he's a very good three-point shooter. Get him some space for some open shots. Good pivot moves by Ellingson against a taller opponent here.
His first, Ellingson will shoot 2.
Ellingson looking for his first point of the game.
Yeah, these are important points. These free throws are important points for St. Louis Park to get in a game like this. You can see Jackson coming back in. I think he got his required 15 seconds of rest, and he's heading back in.
Ellingson will take a seat on the bench. And the Royals, Tristan Lee brings the ball into the front court. Royals lead by 15. Who just joined us, Kerwin Walton, did not suit up for this game. He's averaged 25 points per game for the Royals. And there's a turnover. Ross upset with himself on that. And the block call on the Orioles.
That was unfortunate for Ewald. That he was in position, but he kind of had that lean back. That.
Well, number 4.
You can see.
For Ewald.
You can see Coach Breitenbucher is asking the referee that he felt like that was not a charging call against, or not a blocking foul on Ewald.
Ewald hasn't scored in this game, and he averages 15 per game, so Hopkins has really taken him out of the scoring equation.
Yeah, I think they've really extended the I mean, they're making him work all the way up the court. You can
Nice pass by Dvorak. Oh, look at Dvorak. He fights inside there, and he keeps it alive for the Orioles. He's impressed me, Dvorak.
Yeah, he's really worked really hard, and he seems like he's pretty sure-handed with the ball.
And he's a sophomore, which is good for the Orioles.
That is good. You need depth in a program. He's not a bad football player.
There you go, you all.
Yeah.
Give him a chance finally to put up a shot.
Yeah, it's important for St. Louis Park to find him. It's not like he's had a lot of opportunities and he's missed them.
I like that. Just taking it hard to the hoop, and he'll go to the free throw line now. He's like, if I got 4 fouls, and I'm going to foul out soon here maybe, I got to get some points on the board. So.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness. I mean, it's still just a 15-point game. And you've noticed on these first free throws for St. Louis Park that they've been short. And I think a lot of that is their legs. You know, I think they're a little tired from running up and down the court.
Royals are going to go tall here again. Najee back into the game.
There you go. It'll be interesting to see how long they leave Paris on the bench. Good job by Peel to pinch that off.
Yes.
And a
Good
good
shot
rebound
by
Peel.
Maher. Ewald for 3, just a little short. There's a travel. That's as a coach, you're saying, I just want my guard to have the ball. I don't want my big guy.
Dribbling it up the court.
Right.
Well, let's see if they can continue to run their offense and get open shots. That's it.
From way outside, Ewald hits.
I mean, even though that was a really deep shot, they set it up nicely for Cole to get an open, well-balanced shot.
Royals fighting, they're playing hard. That could have been a travel too.
Yeah.
There's a block. And the Orioles will get the basketball.
I think the Orioles got fortunate there because I think it would have been nice to see them kind of pull that back out and work the ball to the other side.
Ferris Johnson back in and Deontay Ross back in for the Orioles. Ewald will take a seat.
Those were really nice minutes for Ewald there.
The Orioles are going to take a timeout. 9:03.
Yeah, I think Coach Breitenbucher felt like they got on a nice little run there. They pulled it back to within 11, and a good chance to kind of calm the guys back down, catch their breath. You know, we got 9 minutes left, and this is still very much a game. You see the upcoming schedule here.
Right, I was just actually going to pull it up, but it's on the screen, so I'm going to have to do that. We're going to be back here on Tuesday night against Edina in a doubleheader, so we're covering the girls and the boys again, just similar to what we did tonight. And then St. Louis Park goes on the road, a road trip for 3 games. Minnetonka, Stillwater, and Mound Westonka. It's Mound Westonka, but Mount Westonka, that sounds like a school maybe from coming in town. But how about that game, Minnehaha Academy against, what is it, Sienna Valley
Yes.
or Sierra Valley? And that game is sold out within minutes. It's going to be played at Minnehaha Academy and on ESPN 3 with Dwayne Wade's son and LeBron James' son. That's a pretty good
That's a marquee matchup.
There's a 3 for the Orioles.
I think it got deflected a little bit there. There's so much great basketball talent in Minnesota.
This 3, good rebound. Now Ross.
Paris thought about that. You can see the fouls starting to kind of pile up for Hopkins as well. St. Louis Park is penetrating well and forcing that defense to collapse.
Reach-in foul by Cornell Richardson. His second foul of the game. 6 fouls now for the Royals, 6 for St. Louis Park. 8:28 to go. Orioles hanging in there.
Yeah, they got a chance to cut it back down into single digits.
Peel takes it down the lane. Shot just a little short. Gets the rebound, and a foul is going to be called on Hopkins.
Boy,
good effort by Peel.
Yeah, great tenacity by Peel. I mean, that was a nice, hard, gritty drive that he had, and then to stick with it, and now he's got some shots.
And the Orioles in the bonus, so Peel will shoot the 1-and-1 here.
You see Ewald checking back in.
Also, Tremmel comes back in for the Royals.
Well, let's see how this first free throw goes here. Very nice.
Orioles have made it a 10-point game. This was once a 20-point game, so the Orioles have brought it back.
This experience is just so valuable for Park. And it's going to, win or lose, it's going to give them a greater sense of confidence as the season progresses.
Royals look like they're picking up the tempo a little bit here.
Nice defense by Paris.
Ewald.
I think
Nice pass inside. Ross. Good move by Deontay Ross. And we're down to 8 points. And Kenny Novak now has his arms crossed on the sideline. And he's going to call a timeout.
I think he wants to talk about it. It's a nice little run by Park. They're getting open shots. You can tell their energy level has picked up.
And they're working hard on defense. They really are. I mean, this Hopkins team just seems to move the ball around, but St. Louis Park is not intimidating. They're playing very hard defensively, and really it's a good game, as you mentioned, for St. Louis Park, because I questioned Coach Breitenbucher always when I talked to him. I'm like, you really want to play these teams? You know what I mean? And he's like, you know what? It may be an L on the schedule, but it may be a W down the road for us. And you can sort of see St. Louis Park has really just done such a great job just to hang in this game.
And you think, they played Park Center, a top 5 team in the state a couple of games ago, and all of this experience is cumulative where they still have some tough Lake Conference opponents coming up with Edina and Minnetonka, playing competitively with Hopkins is going to give them a lot of confidence. And I've really been impressed with St. Louis Park, just sticking with their plan. You can see they're still moving the ball. They're still, their defense has really picked up where they've forced Hopkins into some turnovers. We'll see if Kenny's speech gets Hopkins to pivot here. Looks like they got their starting lineup back in.
They do, and the Orioles have theirs in as well. So. You see Hopkins right now being a little more patient than they were early on. That's the guy they want.
Yeah, right.
Orioles just converge inside and were able to get the steal.
Well, and nice play by Paris. But the defensive play on Najee pivoted and then just dribbled right in front of the defense, and St. Louis Park just took it away.
15 points in the game for Paris Johnson. A miss by the Royals. A steal by Najee and a foul. And this is Ewald. That's number 5.
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
Laura's, that's going to hurt, but they're going to bring in Dvorak and.
Yeah, it was kind of the wrong place at the wrong time there. And Ewald had just really, the last 10 minutes were really great minutes for Ewald. So I'm sure he's frustrated having to come out. But
really, Ellingson and Ewald have picked up almost all the fouls, and there's a miss on the 1-and-1.
So good experience for the sophomore Dvorak to be in this kind of a game.
Well, there's the travel.
Just dragged that foot a little bit.
Really looked like Peel could shoot the three. He was wide open when they had it in the right wing spot.
Yeah, so many times you see open three-point shots and they either hesitate or do a pump fake, and then that allows the defense to come and put pressure. You'd like to see him just put that right up. Oh, nice play by Ross there.
Well, a 5-point game here with 5:59 to go.
I mean, it's a nice tribute to Coach Brighton Bucher. I mean, they've outplayed Hopkins, since 3 minutes into the game, and St. Louis Park, they've just played really well together.
And they come away with the basketball again. Deontay's Ross has just done such a great job, and he's hurting right now. I think good pass. Royals just can't hit that shot by Jackson.
Good hands by.
Oh, what a spin move! That was a collegiate move on that one.
Well, and he did a nice job. Peel deflected that pass. And Najee still was able to adjust to it and finish at the hoop.
I'd like to see him get Dvorak out for a three. Nice Johnson drawing the foul.
Nice aggressive move, like good hop step.
Johnson will go to the line to shoot 2.
Foul on Najee, that's his second.
18th, 8.
First free throw of the game for Paris. There's that great spin move by Zeke, or his brother. They call him Elvis. It's Elvis, not Zeke. Zeke's having a good year out in Arizona, averaging 17 points a game and shooting 72 or 73% from 2-point range, and which almost leads the country, is what they're saying.
Yeah, what a great start for a freshman.
Great to see, and again, it's too bad that Minnesota can't close the borders and keep some of these players, because they could definitely be a top team in the country if they kept a lot of these Minnesota athletes.
No doubt.
Back to a 5-point game with 4:48 to go now.
You see St. Louis Park has gone in.
Najee missed that one badly. Here's Gray. He misses and it goes out of bounds. Orioles ball.
There's a little kind of off balance shot by Gray. Probably not the shot Kenny Novak wanted.
That's got to be a foul. Yeah, put.
Yes, Hopkins has got to be careful being so aggressive on defense, especially when St. Louis Park is in the bonus.
So foul number 9 for the Royals, 1-and-1. Ellingson's going to give Stanley Jackson a breather. 4:26 remaining.
I think St. Louis Park has also played much deeper into their bench. A lot of guys getting minutes.
Oh, Paris missing the free throw.
Boy, that St. Louis Park played the pick and roll really nicely there.
Hopkins really struggling offensively in this game. Yeah, you can't shoot that one. This will be Orioles ball.
And no ball. Possession arrow points to St. Louis Park.
Even Schmidt's getting some minutes here for the Orioles, and key situation with 3:50. Deontay's Ross getting a rest.
Well, I think Coach Breitenbucher wants to talk about it a little bit.
I think he wants a timeout. He's also, I think, give his players enough of a breather, maybe bring a couple guys back into the game. There's the upcoming schedule for the Hopkins Royals. And
Looks like
got
an
a tough one.
easy game next.
Yeah, Kenny Novak's got to be looking at that and saying, boy, we got to do a lot better if we're going to play when we play Minnehaha Academy. I'd like to see that game. That would be a good basketball game to watch. And then at Champlain Park to start the new year.
Yeah, and then I see January 16th they open up conference against the #1 team in the state. So they got a tough schedule as well.
You got Wayzata in there too. Wayzata's always tough. Wayzata coming off a tough loss to Lakeville North, where they had a pretty big lead in that game. I think they had over a 20-point lead and ended up losing to a Lakeville North team who this is the first year that Lakeville North does not have a D1 player that they, like in the past years, for the last 6-7 years, they've had between J.P. McCura and Wall and all these players and Reavers. They've had some pretty good athletes that have gone to some Division I schools, and but Coach Oxton has just done such a great job with that program, and regardless, you always know they're going to compete. So
yeah, it seems like they're always consistently in the mix.
Dvorak, and he's fouled. And the Orioles will get 2 shots now. It'll be the 10th foul.
Yeah, you can see the Hopkins coaches talking to their guards about kind of being that overly aggressive.
Novak not happy with that last call, but Dvorak missing the free throw. Here's where the Orioles really need to hit these free throws. They missed a couple in a row with Paris Johnson missing the front end of the 1-and-1, and now Dvorak missing the first and now the second.
It's going to be important for St. Louis Park to continue to make Hopkins or force Hopkins into tough shots.
We'll get a push on the Orioles, so Hopkins now will go to the free throw line, shooting the 1-and-1. I think it's been a while since Hopkins has scored from the floor.
Yeah.
They've been sitting on 49 a long time.
Well, St. Louis Park has really played well defensively in this second half. I mean, what did Hopkins have at the half? 33 points?
Could be.
So they've only scored 17 here in the second half.
Again, the Orioles playing without Ewald, who has fouled out. Orioles need a bucket on this trip down the floor. 3:20 to go. They trail by 7. We'll see what Najee does, but Orioles
nice
get the steal.
play by Dvorak.
Missing the shot. Orioles come away with it.
Nice job by Ross to get them back to
Good
setting up
hustle.
their offense.
Boy, that was a tough one to get to go. Ellingson, being that quarterback, he's able to put his body in there and get that one to go. One of the few times that the Orioles have opened up the lane and given an easy basket.
Yeah, that was a nice drive. They have to continue to get good shots here.
What a move. I couldn't get it to go. No
I
foul
thought
on that one.
Yeah, I thought that was a foul.
Good effort. Paris Johnson just unable to get the shot to go. Wide open for the 3, and that's be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you can see St. Louis Park is starting to take some risks defensively, which are opening up open shots like that.
Yeah, now it's starting to get out of hand a little bit.
Yeah, sloppy play by Hopkins.
Sure, the way the end of the first half ended, this is what's happening now.
Yeah. Great job by Ellingson there to get the shot up over Najee.
Kenny Novak kept his players in for the whole game pretty much. This wasn't the kind of game he probably anticipated coming in here, but St. Louis Park did a great job, and players have to keep their heads up. They worked hard in this game.
Yeah, I think it was impressive. I mean, the second half, especially to hold a team like Hopkins to, well, now just 23 points in the second half.
Fouls on Dvorak. His first. Richardson will shoot 1-1.
Well, and I think if St. Louis Park can start to find some more points, they did a nice job of penetrating and finding the open player on the perimeter.
So missed that front end of the 1-and-1. They did a much better job on Najee in the second half, too.
Yes.
Good hustle.
You can see Coach Brian Bucher's frustrated. He wanted a foul there multiple times, and I think he saw the foul on Paris Johnson's last trip down the court. Great tenacity by Peel just to stick with that.
Flores have missed a few free throws here in the second half. Peel was 2 for 2 earlier, but first miss.
Almost forced a turnover there, I think. Well, it'll be interesting to see if St. Louis Park fouls here.
Right. We say this is a good game for St. Louis Park. It's really a good game to be in for Hopkins, too, to really work their way out of a game that they've seen St. Louis Park dominate. And there's St. Louis Park ball.
That was a nice box out by Dvorak there. Yeah, I think it probably is a good, especially Hopkins without their best player, um, to see how these other guys can play as a team.
Ball was stripped away from Jackson. We're down to 35 seconds. And Deontay's with the foul.
That was on Ross. His second. Richardson will shoot 2.
Cornell Richardson 4 for 4 from the free throw line.
You jinxed him.
The intention was there.
He's played a nice game tonight.
So the Orioles, if things go the way they should, keep it under a 10-point game. Out of bounds, Oriole basketball with 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's nice to see them playing to the finish. It was a nice contest there by Paris to force it off of Hopkins.
Stanley Jackson for 3. That's short, and Hopkins can just let this one go here.
Well, a really nice game, I think. You know, I'm sure frustrating for the players to lose, but there's a lot of positive things to take away from this game.
Well, definitely, you know, when you talk about moral victories, this is one of those moral victories, but, you know.
Well, and I think, you know, some things to build on. I thought Ewald, you know, I'm sure frustrated to foul out, but, you know, he had a really nice second half because he's going to be facing, teams are going to key on him, try to take away the three-point shot, and just the additional level of work he needs to find those shots.
Right, and you and I talked a little bit at halftime where, you know, Ewald, if he was more of a shooting guard where he didn't, you know, and you could find him open, that's really plays to their advantage, getting him open for the shot. And we could see when he did finally get open, he hit a high percentage of those shots. So
yeah,
he's a great shooter.
And as other guards develop, certainly like Dvorak, to take that, you know, because I think it takes a lot of energy out of Ewald to be bringing the ball up against heavy pressure like that, where it's going to free him up to have someone else take that pressure and free up shots for him. But I think a solid game by Paris, Johnson, and Stanley Jackson. I thought playing against taller, physical players. So I think as St. Louis Park begins to face some of these other Lake Conference teams, this is going to give them some confidence that they can play with these teams. And I'm sure those coaches are going to be looking at tape from this game, wondering how St. Louis Park hung with Hopkins.
Looks like we may have a couple coaches on the floor too. No, but well, I want to also you know, give a lot of credit to coaching the St. Louis Park coaching staff with Dave Breitenbucher. What a great job they did at halftime. You knew Hopkins came out a little bit late. You know, Kenny Novak probably had a long talk with his team and devised the game plan, saying, you know, we need to get back and turn this game back around. But Coach Breitenbucher, you know, his team came out and they played a great second half, and they went toe-to-toe with Hopkins Royal. So
they did. I think they outscored Hopkins in the second half. I mean, I'm not sure what they cut it to, maybe 4 points in the second half.
Right.
I mean, they had put themselves in a position to actually steal this game. But if you go back to, you know, we've talked about it before, but go back to the first 3 minutes of the game, St. Louis Park played even with a top 10 team in this state. So
right.
A lot of positive things to take away from
Well,
this.
I think for St. Louis Park, coming out of that Henry Sibley game, a game that I think that's one that just stung for the St. Louis Park Orioles. And I think now coming out of that game and seeing, even though you lose and you're 0-4, you see a lot of positives from this game. And as you look to the future, you say, okay, this is going to really help. And they got a tough game coming up. They're going to play Hopkins and great player in the Hudson. And you know, it's going to be
Who do they have next?
or Edina.
Edina. Yeah.
Hudson, yeah. So another Division I potential player, and that they're going to have to face, and we'll see. This, like I said, this is a good game to prepare for a game like team like Edina, and we look forward to covering that game too.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
All right, Tom. So I think we're after my second game here. I'm ready to wrap it up. So, 2 in a row.
Get some rest.
Yeah. But anyways, it's always fun, Tom. Great to have you back again here for another season, and thank you so much for the great job that you do, and as well as the rest of our crew for bringing games throughout the year. So we again thank everyone for joining us tonight. Final score here from St. Louis Park: Hopkins Royals 56, St. Louis Park Royals 47. So long.